How will I know?
It's on.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Okay.
Okay.
So this is just our time to quickly debrief. First of all, great job, Jayne. You covered a lot.
Great job.
Yeah. Probably maybe a little boil the ocean, but we only have an hour to tell people a lot about DevOps. It's a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah. I think you did. I mean, I think you covered a broad, from a very high level perspective. Here's what it is. And then I'm excited to see how much it's really grown and taken off since we did start with you way back when. So I'm excited to see about the whole, you said something different today. So you called it, we always call it an ecosystem, and I wrote it down. I don't know what it was, but it was
What
pretty.
was it?
I don't know. It was another cool word. Other cool words I got from Jayne today are, okay, I got IT tool chain. So I've never heard that. I've heard ecosystem or landscape, but I got IT tool chain.
Okay, good.
Did you say infrastructure as a code, infrastructure as code?
Infrastructure as code is is that whole VMware. Now the new one, Robin, is also security as code. You're going to hear a lot more about that too.
Okay, what does that mean? I'm just getting used to everything as a service. So
I know.
It's not a service. It's a code.
It's all code. That's why everybody has to learn coding. And even this SRE, really pay a little attention to site reliability engineering. In fact, if you or any of your team, because you're based in California, and I know you're not in the Bay Area, but I went to SRECon last year. There was 650 people identifying as SREs.
Mm-hmm.
But more interesting, there were a lot of hiring people. A lot of HR people were there.
Oh, okay. So we should check that out.
Yes, doesn't that tell you something, right? But anyhow, everything is now evolving as code because everything is moving towards automation, right? So being able to stand up infrastructure really quickly, VMware, that kind of thing, right? Being able to embed security testing inside of DevOps and using automation to do that. So you're going to hear as code.
That's cool. That was the first time I heard it today.
As
So 12,
code.
12. I liked
Yeah.
it. And then when you were talking about the hackathons, I was thinking my first impulse was, I want to have a rest-a-thon.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then I caught a hold of myself, silly me, and I thought,
I love the pie shape, but that's okay.
yeah. I'm like, wow, how does she know? I put on a few pounds this year.
I know, right?
Shoot, Jayne's been reading my mail. But then I thought, okay, so after I was done daydreaming about my rest-a-thon, I thought we should, Omnikron, Brad and Heather, we should have a learn-a-thon. Okay, we should have some way for people to rapidly get through their certs and do a learn-a-thon. So those were,
I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of different.
Especially if we're allowed to steal the I and the T and the pie and all that nice little picture of what type of learner you are. Jayne, that was awesome. I like it.
I would like to tell you on that came out of my brain, but it didn't. I actually kind of did some research. I've been still researching really the origins, because there are many that claim the origins of the I to T shape. And there's a really good Forbes article about just generally how people have to grow their skills, not specific to IT, but yeah, it's a topic that I personally am putting forward a lot lately because, for IT, that seems to make sense. And of course, for learning organizations, that makes a lot of sense. And keep an eye on that learn-a-thon thing, because I'm stewing an idea that I can't really share with you yet.
Okay.
Maybe we could work together on a model that I'm trying to build that's very similar to that.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. I have some ideas.
Can I share my favorite part?
Yes.
I love that DevOps is a super framework.
Oh.
All the pieces of your idle and your scrum and your agile and your PMP. I think that was just brilliant for me from a salesperson's perspective when I have to put, run the Greenroom. So I have to put butts in seats. So any little thing I can use to encourage and inspire people. It's like you said, Jayne, everybody has to be learning all the time. Most of these professionals will agree with you in conversation, but you have to choose very specific words and certain images to get that to become reality for most professionals, just because they're so busy.
Well, thank you, because that is Jayne's Brain Trust. So I did a whole presentation in Australia on DevOps as a super framework, and about half the audience got it, and the other half were like, let me think about that for a little bit. So that's really funny. So thank you.
Yes.
Glad you picked up on that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, you guys, so really good. I think, Jayne, we should, let's keep noodling on the Learnathon. Manny, Heather will be back to you to talk about all the curriculum.
Sure.
There's a lot of neat stuff there.
Yep.
And I think we should, maybe have another one in Q1 and maybe do a drill down. Maybe we could do a sample of value streaming or so. I like value streaming, so maybe we could have some fun with that.
Well, and Robin, I'm sorry if I blindsided you on the drill downs, because I didn't know whether you were aware or not aware, and we're about to release more information about the drill downs. But we're building a whole series of non-cert, and this is good for Brad and Heather to hear as well. And I won't take much more time on this, but like 500 people go through foundation, right?
Right.
And then 50 of those people may go on to an advanced cert, right? Because we know that, they're going to use their training budgets, or they're going to use it. We have 450 people that want to understand more about value stream mapping, or we just did one, ITSM for DevOps. We have a metrics for DevOps being built. And so there are these 450 people that their learning journey in DevOps just stopped because they don't want or need an advanced certification.
Right,
right. So we're building these courses called drill downs, which you could bundle with a DevOps foundation, or DevOps leader does some value stream mapping, but you could add a value stream mapping 2-day drill down to it, or you could deliver them standalone. But there's a lot of things you can plug and play with these drill down courses. And so they're really very, very topic specific. They're meant to be practical, prescriptive, and no certification, so that anyone, they're very, very accessible to really anyone in an organization that essentially can get funding to learn it, right? And so it's a different path.
Well, it's good. We'll get more, Manny, on. So yeah. I'm elated to know about that, and I'll share with you. Just because they might not get a cert from the DevOps Institute, they could probably get college credit from us, real live college credit, not professional, continuing ed, but because of some of the university affiliations that we have that are seriously looking at all of our content. We have to run it through the mill to get it, accredited, but that's something that we can do. And then also we do have a really cool partner in Silicon Valley called Contenio. And I will look at some of your value streaming stuff or some of the other drill downs to see if we can put it in the Contenio tool. It's this awesome collaboration engine where we could all come in from all over the world, move our stickies around. It gives you a beautiful visual, and then it also gives you some fantastic reporting out of the backside. So there's probably some things that we could, couple together from the content, and then some with our tool partnerships. So that could be good.
Excellent.
Good news is drill downs are going to be done on an all-you-can-eat subscription model, so no butts in seats pricing. We're going to do a little experiment with that and see how that works, because they're non-cert, so we don't have people cert involved and all of that. So we're going to, and again, that's kind of a little pre-announcement that make it easier for everybody. So we can get together and talk about that, or you can get together with Manny, but I think, those are the kind of titles that are just easier to sell in a lot of ways, because they really are very, very, very specific to how do I do this,
Right. Right. No, it sounds good. Sell and, use, right? So you guys, thank you. I think we took a little extra
Thank
time
you.
on
Yeah.
this because we never get to talk.
Well, I'm going to be out in the Bay Area a lot in 2018. So if you want, I can jump down to LA on one of my trips and we can, hang out with the team for a little bit.
Yeah, we should do that. We should definitely take an excuse to come see you. But yeah, no, we have a really fun, we have a really, really, really fun environment here and a really great classroom. And it would be fun to have you as our guests.
That would be lovely. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Happy holidays. That's a hard thing for me to say because I am in such denial that we're in December. Like,
Right?
where the heck did this year go? Right?
Jayne needs a rest-a-thon. I invented
Need a rest-a-thon. Yes, really. All right, guys. Talk to you next year.
All right. Take care. Good. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.